Hi, welcome back to tip number two. I don't think it would be, as we continue the conversation about building relationships, I want to share the story about Zandy. Zandy was an identified gifted and talented 10th grader who loved the sciences. Normally, Zandy was at the top of her class. She was involved with extracurricular activities, and although she was a 10th grader, she had earned the respect and admiration of her peers and held offices in several school organizations. One day in the middle of chemistry class, and this was unlike her, Zandy left without clearing her table. She did not return to class that day, nor the next day, nor several days after that. Finally, her chemistry teacher sought her out to discuss her absence and just to find out what was going on. Because by this time, she had not turned in assignments and she was having failing grades. So the chemistry teacher found Zandy looking at the draft of her upcoming yearbook and they started talking. At first, it was very casual, but then as they talked, Zandy took out a notebook and she shared the following with her teacher. Life has no meaning if there's no one to love. There'll be nothing to hold on to when this world gets you down. Life becomes unbearable with excruciating pains if in this world one cannot find a friend who's more than just a name. Life is not worth living with its numerous regrets, with the consistent inconsistency plagued by uncertainties at best. For the first time in months, Xandy felt like she could breathe after talking with her teacher. She finally confided in someone about her anxieties and depression. She talked about the limited sleeping space at home and the challenge she was having completing homework. She sobbed on the shoulder of her teacher as she explained the teasing she encountered from her peers due to her limited wardrobe. As tears rolled down Zandy's face, she stood frozen like an animal caught in a trap. She could not allow herself to remember the last part of their conversation. It was too painful for her to recall, too painful to allow the images to set on the canvas of her imagination. That night, her pen danced across the pages, and across the pages of her notebook, she wrote, I am grateful I found you, one who cares for me. I'm not sure what I would do if the truth you did not see. I tried to hide my feelings for fear of the unknown. You embrace my ambiguities. In you, a friend I found. Years later, Xander returned to visit her chemistry teacher. As she entered the living room of her chemistry teacher's house, Xander's eyes caught a copy of her high school yearbook. She greeted her teacher with a warm embrace, then handed the elderly lady a piece of notebook paper. It was crushed and badly torn, but neither of them minded it. As the retired teacher reached for her reading glasses, she told Zandy how proud she was of the lady she became. Although neither of them recounted the day their special bond was formed, the yearbook on the table convinced Zandy that her teacher remembered the day she cried, or rather sobbed on her shoulder. Zandy's attention was brought back to the moment at hand as her teacher wiped a tear from her eyes and returned the piece of paper, which was entitled Gratitude. I am still haunted by that day. I still shudder at the memory. You entered my heart with your smile, and instantly I knew I didn't have to worry. You are the catalyst that I needed. In me, you have planted hope and life. I can now re embrace and explore the world because your encouraging words are making me thrive. As I think about Zandy, I wonder, are you wondering as well? How did the chemistry teacher change Zandy's life? I'm Teacher Sherry J reminding you that building relationship can transcend time and generation. Together, we're growing minds and changing lives.